Good morning, School District of Indian River County. This is your Superintendent, Dr. Moore, here with a brief update regarding the release of graduation rates today. Graduation rates were released yesterday. Here with me today, School Board Member Dr. Jones, Principal Sean Key from Vero Beach Senior High School, and Christopher Cummings, Principal Sebastian River High School. And we'll have the opportunity to hear from each of them in a little bit. As you know, the state released graduation rates yesterday. This is an opportunity for us to provide information regarding those graduation rates. The graduation rate at Vero Beach Senior High School improved 4.9 percentage points, moving it to 93.4. That is something we're extremely proud of. Graduation rate number one on the Treasure Coast. Okay. That is the district number. That is 93.4, which is our graduation rate at the entire district's graduation rate. First on the Treasure Coast. This rate puts us at number 7 of graduation rates across the 67 districts in the state. Prior to that, we were number 21. So this is significant improvement over the course of the year. This is also the 10th year in a row that the School District of Indian River County exceeds that of the district average. So we're setting a very high bar. We have grown, our rank is the 10th highest of all other districts across the state. So when you look at the rate of growth at our district, we outperformed 57 other districts. So you're looking at a bunch of data that is on the screen now, and you'll see here how Indian River compares to our surrounding counties. And I want you just to take a second and digest some of that information. And you'll see in all subgroups, in all areas, we as a district are moving at a significant pace, and that is something that we're proud about. Now, when you look at our specific schools, let's talk about Sebastian River Senior High School. Almost a 10 percentage increase, moving from 91.4% from 82. And that is absolutely outstanding work. Vero Beach Senior High School already had a 93% graduation rate, but was able to boost that graduation rate to 95.6. And this is hard work. And this is the score that is the ultimate evaluation of how successful a school system is. Do your students graduate? And this number indicates that the School District of Indian River County is making significant movement for all students. So some of reflections. We moved from 21st to 7th state rankings. Very proud about that. 10th consecutive year that we as a district outperformed our state. Sebastian River High School increasing by 10 percentage points. I know we have Principal Cummings here, but also want to acknowledge the outstanding work that was done by Dario Brown, who was the principal last year. It doesn't happen overnight. It is a long-term commitment, so we're very proud of the work that he's done, and I'm sure Mr. Cummings will comment on that as well. Vero Beach continuing to improve upon an already impressive graduation rate from 93.1, Vero Beach moved from 93 to 95.6. When you start to look at our subgroups, also significant improvement. Graduation rate for our black students increased by 9.4 percentage points from 80 to 90. And that is something that we are extremely proud of. It is a focus for us in our school system to ensure that we're addressing the needs of all children, regardless of the zip code or the town in which they live. If you're a student in this system, we're going to provide you with quality education and ensure that you graduate, and you graduate ready for the next phase of your life. So significant improvements in all areas across the board. Now, as you know, the state, because of the pandemic, didn't afford students the opportunity to take that last assessment because we closed school in March. And some will say, well, take heed in the fact that those students who didn't have that concordance score are included because they waived the opportunity to enforce that passing of those assessments. But the fact is, our students still would have made those marks. Does it help some? Yes, it does. But ultimately, when you look at the 7.1% of the students across the state of Florida who accessed that graduation code, not having that requirement, here in our school district, it's a full percentage point lower. And it doesn't include the work that students had yet to do. So as an example, there was 25 to 30 students who accessed that graduation code last year. So we're proud of this progress. This reflects the work that is being done. This is a number that everyone in our community could be proud of. This is an indication of how we are tracking, monitoring student progress, and continuing to evaluate where students are in real time. So with that, I am like Board Member Dr. Jones to give a few remarks, and then from there we'll have opportunities to listen to our principals.
Thank you, Dr. Moore, and good morning. As a former high school principal, I can tell you this is not an easy job to do. For Sebastian River High School, increasing 10%, that's almost unheard of. And for Vero Beach High School to continue the path of moving up to that 100% is just phenomenal. I want to congratulate the Sebastian River High School staff, the Vero Beach High School staff, because this happens in the classroom. All of the credits that are needed for graduation to 24, passing the FSA in 10th grade, the Algebra EOC, and then having the 2.0, that's complete focus by our teachers in our classrooms. And that starts at elementary, continues in middle, and continues in high. So again, congratulations to Mr. Cummings and Mr. Brown at Sebastian River High School, and to Mr. O'Keefe at Vero Beach High School. We're very, very proud of you. Thank you.
And now I'd like to introduce Mr. O'Keefe, principal at Vero Beach Senior High School. I've asked the principals from each of the high schools to share some of the innovative and creative ways that they're moving these numbers in our schools.
Hello everybody, Sean O'Keefe, Vero Beach High School, and as we say at Vero, we are Vero proud of these results. There are so many different initiatives that we have ongoing at Vero Beach High School that address our graduation rate. But I would like to say that this is really about the bottom line is that this is about parent and community partnerships in this effort for graduation rate. And while there were some news reports that there was caution, as Dr. Moore pointed out, caution about the scores because there wasn't the state assessments, I would also add to that this is the class that we sent home statewide on March 17th. We set for Vero Beach High School, that was 700 seniors that we lost track of all of a sudden without any warning on a given day. So that is what we did then, and Dr. Moore was with us at that time. His greatest priority was not losing any students, and we had conversation after conversation, even amidst the pandemic, not to lose any of these students during that time period. So it was a lot of tracking, as he said, the teachers, and Dr. Jones reiterated, the teachers working with our students through that crisis. Though they were at home, these seniors were at a very vulnerable point. But we kept with them, we kept in contact with them with communications almost on a daily basis to make sure that they were reaching their goals of graduation. As I said, it's a parent and community partnership. Just last night we were at Gifford Youth Achievement Center, and Dr. Moore and Mr. Cummings and I, Dr. Jones was there also. We were talking to Freddie Wolfork, who is there, and he runs that center, and he was sharing with us that he's been there for 23 years and has made in all those 23 years graduation rate for minority students his #1 priority. And we're extremely proud of those results with the minority outcomes for these graduation rates. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Christopher Cummings, principal, Sebastian River High School. I think that everything that really truly could be said has probably already been said, and for me, just to kind of reiterate the things that Dr. Moore, Mr. This is a tremendous accomplishment for the staff, the students, the parents of Sebastian River High School. It was effort that was put out by I would like to say, the previous administration. Mr. Dario Brown and his staff did an outstanding and fantastic job just speaking to them about all of the things that were already put in place prior to my arrival was just tremendous. Really going back to what Mr. O'Keefe was saying is really, not losing track of these students. We understand that the pandemic is a really challenging time. It was a challenging time. It continues to be a challenging time. It was a time that hit all of a sudden where students, parents, teachers could have easily just given up, lost hope. But it really stands, these scores stand as a testament of the commitment and dedication of the staff members of Indian River County, and also to the students and to the parents, because it really takes buy-in from everyone. This is really a team effort. It's a collective effort. From the student to the teachers to the graduation coaches to the guidance counselors, really getting down and understanding what are the unique needs of each individual student and making sure that that particular need is met so that, as Dr. Moore say, they can reach the climax of their educational initiative is to graduate and to reach that mark and that goal. This is what they've been striving for 13 plus years. So again, for me, I would just like to say congratulations to the students, to the parents, to the community, to all of the schools for this tremendous accomplishment, and especially to the previous administration of Sebastian River High School. And as we always say, you can't hide that sharp pride. Thank you.
So in closing, who should be proud? The elementary teacher who nurtures the child and helps them acclimate into the school environment. The middle school band teacher who allows students to connect and be introduced to an instrument that they fall in love with and find a passion. The athletic coach who encourages and provides opportunities for children to create discipline on a field and learn what teamship and sportsmanship is all about, and allowing that opportunity for them to connect to the experience. All of our educators who have an unwavering commitment to continue to push and support our students, to encourage our students to do this work. Our parents should be proud, especially the parents of the class of 2020 who produced these numbers. The encouragement that they had to provide, the support that they had to provide in the midst of this pandemic. Go back to all the press conferences we've had about graduation, about prom not happening, about losing out on opportunities to take end-of-year exams and be ready to go to the next level. Those were parents standing up and supporting their children. And then ultimately, the class of 2020, congratulations. You have set a bar for this entire community. And I would hope that you take this success as you are in college now and continue to pave your path forward. Our goal is for you to graduate, but the ultimate success of this district is for you to attain the employment, for you to find a life filled with joy and happiness because you are prepared to take on the challenges of this world. Here in this system, our goal is to maximize your full potential. Thank you, class of 2020, the administrators, the counselors. This is a result produced by all. Cannot be any happier regarding this specific outcome. The parameters of this assessment were the same across all 67 counties. The conditions the same. But the school district of Indian River County moved from 21st to 7th. That is a committed district working to the benefit of the children in this district. Thank you. Have a great day. If you guys have any questions, we'll be glad to answer them.
This is, of course, the school year that, for the most part, preceded COVID-19. Of course, there's worries of virtual school, if that's going to have any impact on students' learning for the last, what were we at, 6-8 months. Do you think that these numbers will carry on into the next round of statistics? Do you feel like the district is doing enough to kind of maintain the success rate given the hardships of virtual school?
From a district's perspective, we understood the impact of what COVID could be and how that could be a compounded loss or compounded impact on the lives of those particular children. We didn't wait. We started our school year with 62% of our students in brick and mortar. We're now up to 85% of our students back in brick and mortar. And that speaks to the trust our parents have in our system and our ability to provide safe and meaningful environments. Has there been an impact because of COVID and lost instructional time? The answer to that question is absolutely yes. In our system, we began an A2 initiative, Acclimate and Accelerate. This was the opportunity to identify students who have been impacted the most academically and provide them before school, after school, during lunch interventions in order to remediate some of the skills that have been lost. You miss out on a certain part of your school year, especially in our early grades. Those are foundational years that prepare you. You're learning the skills to read in first grade, in kindergarten. And then when you go into the higher grade levels, you're putting those skills to use. Those were gaps that we need to fill and continue to fill. So the answer to your question is there going to be an impact? The answer is yes. Are we significantly ahead of the game, aware of what students need, that support, and providing it? Absolutely. Now, when you look at these seniors who are seniors now, I think the same holds true. These seniors that were 11th graders last year, they missed the opportunity to have the chance to sit and pass assessments that would lead to their graduation. They had that opportunity from March 13th to the end of the school year where it was closed, virtual instruction taking place. So they didn't know coming into their senior year whether they were going to, how many opportunities they were going to have. So we as a county, as a state, need to continue to push for these seniors for the same waiver to be applied, because every child should be provided the exact same number of opportunities to pass an assessment that leads to graduation. Last year, students didn't have those numbers of opportunities. They were waived. Same holds true for these seniors.
Well, that's a very good trend from one year to the next. What's the trend been for the last 5 years? How is it been up and down, or has it been gradually going up, or what's the 5-year trend, let's say?
The 5-year trend over the last 5 years has been relatively steady. Last year, Sebastian River took a slight number down and then came back up. And let me say this is not something in which you should be looking at very specific trends. Each graduating class is a very, very unique group, all experiencing different circumstances. So over the course of the last 5 years, Vero Beach, as I said, last 10 consecutive years above the state average. We were in the high 91 when I got here, dropped down to 88 literally the day that I got here, and now we're back up to where we are right now. So our goal is to maintain and continuously improve on this. Some of the numbers that we do not want to slip are our economically disadvantaged, significant improvements, right around 9 percentage points there. Our black subgroups want to continue to hold true with those specific numbers. I think with how we're driving data and using very specific interventions based on what we're seeing in real live time, we're going to be able to meet and exceed these numbers in the coming years.
I don't know how much you've been able to look at all of the school districts, but do you see anything where maybe you guys are doing something differently than school districts that maybe did fall in the ranks this year? Are you able to really pinpoint exactly what made you guys increase versus other districts that may not be hearing the same good news?
It depends. We can't see specifically into other districts' data. We're just seeing the global outcomes. In doing this work for a number of years in a district that had 49 different high schools, it isn't something that fixes in a year. And by no means am I saying I've only been here for a year, look what I've done. That is not the story at all. The story is look at the support that the school system, these high schools have been providing for our students over the course of 4 years. You begin to monitor your graduation rate the day a student walks into the school. You don't have to worry about the graduation rate when a student walks into high school and they're at grade level. So not having the specifics is hard to answer. I can tell you we're doing a much better job of tracking where students are, monitoring their credits, providing opportunities for them to access remediation courses or retake courses that they may not be falling behind in, working with our student services and our success coaches and our graduation coaches. When a student begins to fall behind in a course, we shouldn't wait for the student to fail that course. We need to intervene. So we have a system that we have created that allows us to identify students who potentially may fall behind on the requirements to graduate, and we intervene as quickly as possible.
Is this the highest the district has ever ranked, or can you remember, or do you know the last time the district did rank this highest?
I believe this is the district's highest graduation rate, yes.
Earlier this year, the school board approved your strategic plan for the next 5 years with the goals. How does this performance line up with the goals in your 5-year strategic plan?
Well, as you know, and for those that don't, our strategic plan is 100% linked to the superintendent's evaluation. The evaluation system is aligned to the strategic plan. All of our targets are aligned to moving us to being one of the top 10 performing districts in this state. This in graduation rates, in terms of overall graduation rates, puts us in the top 10. And I can tell the community, get used to it. This is where we belong. So we're on track with that. It's just a matter of continuing to allow this success to seek in and allow us to fuel us forward for future success.